Good morning, all. Hope you are able to hear me.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Okay. Any questions before we proceed? So we have completed with the projects part in yesterday's session. Any questions before we proceed to the next?
No, sir.
Okay. So now we will see like in what are the ways we can have the SAP installation parts. Clear? As I said that. So here SAP server installation. Clear? So for example, as I said that we can have two different ways to install SAP server. Two different ways in the sense, for example, two things we can work. One is we can install SAP server in our system, our desktop or our laptop. First thing. Okay. First one, installation of server in laptop or desktop. Second we have is remote server access. Remote server access. Okay. So here. So first, if we see installation of server in laptop or desktop, what are the prerequisites for this? Laptop or desktop. So here, for example, if you want to install SAP server in our laptops or desktops, in the sense, the prerequisites are whatever desktop or laptop you have. Prerequisites: minimum 500 GB hard disk should be there. 500 GB hard disk drive. So which version? This is about ECC version. ECC version. ECC version of ECC 6 with EHP 7. EHP 7 version. This is the in ECC, on ECC, this is the latest version, EHP 7. Okay, so to install this particular version, we need to have the laptop or desktop hard disk capacity is minimum 500 GB hard disk drive and minimum 8 GB RAM. Minimum 8 GB RAM. Okay, so once we want to install the SAP server in our laptops. Clear? So then what the basis consultant will do is they will charge 400 to 500 INR. Okay, and this is lifetime. This is lifetime. Means once you install, then that's it. We need not to renewal or something else. So we need to pay only 400 or 500 INR. So this is very economical, reasonable price. But what are the challenges if we install SAP server in our laptops? First one, for example, you have a original OS. If we have original OS operating system, then the basis consultant will remove that OS. The complete OS will be removed from your laptop. If you have a backup, it's a well and good. If you don't have a backup, then you have to take the backup and you need to give it for installation purpose. Okay, so what basis consultant will do is he will do two partitions of your hard disk drive, two partitions of hard disk drive. So one is 300 GB for SAP and 200 GB for regular activities. Okay, so they will do the partition of hard disk drive, your hard disk drive 300 GB and 200 GB. In your 300 GB, it is exclusively for SAP. And what is the OS they will install for SAP is SAP server OS will be Windows NT or Windows 2000 Professional. 2000 Professional for SAP. Okay, so here they will install. So once you switch on your system, then as soon as it's login, it will show two operating systems. One is if we have installed in Windows 2000 Professional, it will show Windows 2000 Professional. And in other partition, they will install 200 GB. In 200 GB, okay, they will install OS called Windows 10, for example, Windows 10. So whenever we switch it on system, then it will show two partitions. If you are working for regular activities, then you can select Windows 10. If you are working for, you want to work on SAP, then you need to select Windows 2000 Professional, or if they install Windows NT, in either one they will install. Okay. So here, for example, you want to work on Windows 2000 Professional, that is on SAP, then we need to select this particular option. Clear? So what are the disadvantage? What are the disadvantage with this? What are the disadvantages with this in the sense? So here, if you are working in this particular partition, then no internet will work. Internet will not work. Okay. Sound cards will not work. Okay. Exclusive, your notepad, wordpad, MS Office will work. But if you want to exchange something from this particular partition, we can't do it. If you want to show screen share this particular partition, we can't do it. As I said, that network drivers will not work for this particular OS, in this OS, right? Only what is the thing we can do? We can do every activity, like you can type in WordPad or PowerPoint, whatever you can do it. And same time, you can use SAP. But if you want to exchange something, some data from this particular partition to, for example, you have installed SAP in your system and you have started practice SAP in your system, but you are getting some sort of errors. You are getting some sort of errors. Then you want to show to the opposite person, your trainer or your friend or your colleague, you want to share the screen through any Zoom or something else, then we can't share the screen. We can't show them what is the issue. Either we can take a picture and we can send it to through mobile or whatever it is. Clear? So that particular option will not work for us. And same time, whenever we install Windows 2000 Professional SAP, okay, SAP installation in our SAP server, then what we need to do is, here able to see the screen, right? So whenever we install SAP in our system, then two icons will appear on desktop. Okay. So first of all, every day, what is our activity? For example, if I want to work on SAP, then here you can see here, I don't have an installed SAP in my system. That's the reason I have taken a picture and I'm showing you guys. So here you have a SAP management console, SAP management console icon, management console icon. So this is nothing but your SAP server icon. This is nothing but your, here you can see this SAP management console icon. This is nothing but your SAP server access. So we need to click on this. We need to click on this. So once if we click on this, then it will open the server screen. It will open server screen. So in that, number of activities will be there. Number of activities will be there. In the initially, when we switch it on the server, it will be in gray color, means server will be in shutdown mode, off mode. So what we need to do is by pressing F5 button, so slowly the server will turn from gray color to yellow color and from yellow color to green color. All the activities, there will be around 23 to 27 activities will be there. So all the 23 activities should turn into green color. From gray color to slowly it will turn to yellow. From yellow to green color it has to move. Means what does it mean? Once if it is all the activities are turned into green color, then which means that the server is ready to use. The server is ready to use. Okay. And once the server is ready, then additionally one more icon they will install in our desktop. That is nothing but this is called SAP logon icon or a launchpad. This is SAP logon icon. So we need to click on SAP logon icon like this. See here, SAP logon icon. Okay. So here the different lines will be there. Here, for example, your SAP EHP 7 version. So double click on this. Okay. If you install SAP from Amirpet or anywhere, so here client number is 800 client. 800 client, as I said yesterday's session, 800 client is nothing but training purpose they have given SAP across the globe. This particular client number 800 client exclusively SAP has given for training purpose. Clear? This particular client we won't use in real-time environment. This particular client we use only for training purpose. Clear? Yesterday I made it very clear. Whenever in interview they ask you which client environment you have worked. So don't use the client numbers 000, 001, 066 and 800 client. Don't use these 4 client series as client numbers. Again, I am reiterating, don't use 000 client. Okay. Next one, 001 client. Next one, 066 client and 800 client. I'll say completely don't use 8 series client. If he says that I have worked on 8 series client, then probably they will understand that you don't have a real-time experience. You have practiced in 800 client and you are using the same client number here in interview. Right? Don't use 000 client, 001 client and as well as 800. So don't use 8 series client at all. Not even 810, 820, 830, 840. Apart from this, you can use any number 110, 120, 130, 105. Any client number we can use it. Clear? We will discuss what is 800 client little later. So here, normally if you install in this one, so normally the user ID will be SAP user. If you install, okay, then it is considered as an SAP user and the password would be normally India 123. If you install, again I'm taking not for remote access. If you install SAP server in your laptop or desktop, these are the common user IDs across India they were using and password. And password would be SAP user. Okay, after installation, they will give you, the basis consultant will give you what is the user ID. By default, it will be SAP user and the password would be capital I in India, capital I, India 123. India 123. It's a standard again. Clear? So here you can see which version we are practicing. ECC 6, which is on EHP 7 version. Right? Any question? So everything will work. Again, whatever real-time environment, whatever screens are there, exclusively everything will work in this training environment. No doubt in that. But in real-time environment, we have a minimum 3 servers, as we know that. Minimum 3 servers. Development server, quality server, and production server. But in training version, we don't have a separate servers. Okay. We will work all the 3 servers activity in this 800 client only. Only one client, one user, clear, and one server in training environment. Whatever environment we are working, we use only one server. We will do all the development activities, development server activities in this client only. Next one, all the quality and testing activities also in this server only, and all the production activities also in the server only. But in real time, we will have a separate environments. Okay, everything will work. Again, I'm reiterating, everything will work. Whatever transaction codes, whatever screens we work in real-time environment, this all everything end to end, everything will work. But we don't have a separate clients here, separate servers here, separate user IDs here. Only one server, one client, one user ID. Clear? Any questions here? Any questions?
No, Naveen.
No, sir.
So again, so I have done work for today. I have done work for today. And so we need to careful at the time of shutdown also. We can't do directly a shutdown. So what is our process? First, we need to close the application, SAP application. Then next, whatever console icon is there, the server, we need to stop the server. We need to stop the server. So again, when it is started, then everything will be in green color. So we need to right click and we have an option called stop. We need to click on stop on console icon in this particular icon. Then what it will happen is whatever are there in the green color, whatever activities, 23 to 27 activities, that will slowly turn into yellow color and slowly it will turn into gray color. So once all the activities are in gray color, which means that the server is closed, then we can shut down the system. Okay. So this is the two, starting of server and closing of stopping of server. We need to be more careful. Okay. What happens if we are not closing properly the server? Then one time, two times it may accept. Again, I'm telling you, it may accept. But third time, the server will be get crashed. The server will be get crashed. So you can't work on SAP. So what you need to do, again, you need to go and you need to install server in your system. As long as you are not closing properly. See, we don't know. Sometimes your battery backup is less, and all of a sudden, while practicing, your power has gone and automatically it got switched off. Then at that particular point of time also, the server will be get crashed. Clear? And one more thing, what is the major disadvantages? So it will take to start the server almost all 3 to 4 minutes only to start the server, and to close the server also it will take 3 to 4 minutes, almost all 10 minutes time every day we need to spend to start and to stop the server. Clear? So that is the only disadvantage. But when it comes to the financial part, it's a, if server is not going to crash for long period, in the sense only one time investment we need to do, that is 400 rupees or 500 max to max. But if you are taking a remote access, then you need not to start the server, you need not to stop the server, because the server access will be maintained by the basis consultant remotely. So that will be start 24/7. It will be, they will start the server and they will leave it like that 24/7, and all the backups will be there with them. So what they will do, they will install SAP application. This is SAP logon. Okay, which takes maximum of 400 KB capacity. That's it, not GBs. Clear? Only 400 KB or 1.17 KB. That's it. 1200 bytes. It won't occupy much space if you take a remote access. Clear? So they will give you the SAP logon launchpad, SAP logon screen. So directly we can, so you need not to think whether SAP server is on or off. You need not to think, you just double click on this, then Okay, they will navigate everything. I'll show you how to navigate and all, how to give the instances and all. So you can directly click on your SAP. That's it. So in remote access, they will give you a different users and different passwords. They will give the user ID, your basis consultant, and you can generate your own password. Clear? That is the difference. But we need to spend for per quarter or per 6 months some amount to renewal the server access. Clear? Any questions on this? So you can decide whether you want to install the server in your system or you want to take a remote access. It again depends upon your situation to situation. Yeah, any questions?
No, Naveen.
So once we switch it on, so for example, login, either that could be, this is the common logon screen, logon icon, whether we install or we have taken a remote access, right? As I said that in real time, we have a development server, quality server, and production server. We know that development server is for consultant access, right? And quality server, both consultant and core team members will have access. And production server, consultants as a consultant, we will have only view access. We can't do any modifications in that production server. But all the CTMs will have access to production server, right? According to their roles and responsibilities, right? As we know that business users, we call them as in business users. End users, we call them as in business users, who are the entry level end users, associates, super users, and power users. So according to their roles, they will have access to production server. So in practice environment, we will have one server and one client. As I said that this is our training environment. We will have one server and only one client, and one user IDs are different. Again, I'm telling you, but if you install, there will be only one user ID. Okay. And client 800 is an educational server. SAP dedicatedly given this 800 client for education purpose, which is provided by SAP. Okay. In 800 client, SAP provides what is 800 client. Okay. Why it is given for training in the sense. So already SAP has provided predefined, pre-configured templates companies. Means predefined, pre-configured. There are few guides are there in 800 client. Means already SAP has created, standard SAP AG has created few companies and company codes. The complete end-to-end configurations will available in 800 client. So for example, you are not taking training any outside, but you have a SAP server access. Then you can go to those companies, those company codes and those companies. You can check what is the step SAP has followed. The same way you can configure for your companies. Clear? You remember in 000 client, we have the same predefined configurations will be there. In the same way, we have over there, one or two companies will be there, complete end-to-end configuration. But here, number of companies will be there. Okay, predefined, pre-configured templates companies, or we can call it as a demo data. So already the demo data will be there. For example, if I don't have any training access, for example, I can't take any trainings from others or any institutes, then if I'm really interested to learn SAP, then what I can do, I can take the access, I can go to that demo data, I can check step by step, and I can start practicing. But the difficulty is wherever I get a question, if I don't understand the predefined configuration, okay, then that would be a challenge. That is the only challenge we will face. Any questions still here? Any questions? Okay. So here, whenever we start education system, you can see here, as I said that here there is an IDES. Welcome to IDES ECC 6. So here we have a version. This is an old version. So here you can see ID, ES, ECC6 and EHP7 version, addition to which was released after HANA introduction, right? 2015. So what is IDS? You can write it down. IDS is nothing but Internet Demonstration and Evaluation System. In real time, real-time application, you won't see this IDS. This ID, wherever you see IDS, which means that it is an internet demonstration and education system or evaluation system. Clear? Wherever you see this IDS, which is nothing but evaluation, nothing but for training purpose, this particular server has developed. We can't change client 800. Again, I'm reiterating. We need to work on client 800 only. And in real time, who will decide the client numbers? Basis consultant will decide the client numbers. As a functional consultant, it's not our responsibility. It's not our job to decide what is the client number. Who will decide and give the client numbers? Basis consultant. Technical consultant will decide and give these client numbers. Clear? Any questions? Yes, no?
No, sir. It's clear.
So next one, this is client 800. Next one, user ID. User ID is nothing but case sensitive. Insensitive. User ID is case insensitive. Okay. What is the maximum length we can give for user ID is 12 characters. 12 characters we can give. It could be anything. It could be anything. First surname. In real time, what we will get? Surname, your surname with your first name, first letter of your first name, or any combination. The basis consultant will create your user IDs, right? As soon as you stepped in, you got access to your SAP, then the basis consultant will create one user ID for you, and that would be a combination of your last name completely and your first name, first letter, right? For example, I'm SRUSTY Naveen, then it will be given it as in SRUSTY N, right? So here this is 12 characters maximum, and it's a case insensitive, means it will consider if you can give lowercase also. So for example, here I'm giving lowercase. Okay, then it will accept lowercase or uppercase, anything. So normally if we give lowercase, then it will convert into uppercase automatically. Clear? So that's the reason it is case insensitive. And next one, password. Password is case sensitive. Password is case sensitive. Like your any password, the same combination we need to use. Maximum of 56 characters we can give password. Maximum 56 characters. So which could be a combination of uppercase, lowercase, special character, and all with the combinations. So normally we will give minimum is 8 characters. Minimum is 8 characters or 8 values. Value in the sense it could be anything, right? What is the this one? Rule in the sense one special character, one capital letter, one uppercase, one lowercase. So that should be combination of total all with minimum of 8 values. Any questions here?
No, sir.
Right? Okay. So here, one second. So once we log in SAP, so this is, there will be two screens. There will be two screens. One is, okay, as soon as we log in SAP, okay, two screens will be there. Two screens will be there. Okay. First one, as soon as we log in, default screen. First screen, default screen. is easy access screen. Easy access screen, which is considered as an end user's screen. End user's screen. See, as soon as we log in, then it will show SAP Easy Access screen. By default, this is nothing but our end user's screen. Our end user's screen. Clear? Any questions on this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So this is end user screen. And in the back end, so this is not our screen. This is not our screen as a consultant. We have one more in the back end. We have a consultant screen, which we can go with a transact. I'll tell you again, don't write, just I'm showing you right now. There is a transaction code called SPRO. SPRO, again, we will discuss what is SPRO. And so here we will go to the customization and execution project screen. So this is considered as a consultant screen. This is considered as a consultant screen. Clear? Right? There will be two screens. As soon as we log in, first it will, by default, it will take you to SAP Easy Access screen, which means that, okay, which means end user screen. And that is not our role. That is not our screen. As a consultant, we are going to work on this particular screen. We will discuss more in depth on this particular screen. Okay. So here again, I'm going back to SAP end users screen. So again, I'll come back. So I'm coming, logging in. As I said that by default, it is showing 800 client, user ID, password, case sensitive, and here language, logon language. Clear? Logon language in the sense, for example, client is from China. Client is from China and they don't know English. So at the time of purchasing licenses, they will ask SAP AG to give the language in Chinese language. So whatever across the globe, whatever languages are there, okay, in R3 and R2 environment, SAP has developed in all the languages. Clear? So we can select that particular language over here by default. By default, whatever license we purchase, which language license we have purchased, that particular language we can select here. But majority, we will find language as logon language as English, EN, the first two letters. Clear? Majority we can, but if client insists that they want some specific language, right? Then French language, then they will give it as an FR, right? So, but here we, without giving also directly, if you leave this also without language also, you can, by default, it will show it as an English only. Okay. All right. So here, so till here, any questions? So the SAP screens looks like your MS Office screen only. Okay. The graphical, this is called GUI, graphical user interface, right? So again, we are going to work on GUI, and I'll at the end in S4HANA, if possible, I'll show you Fiori apps also. There is a new latest version, new environment, because okay, that works not on GUI, that works on Fiori apps, right? So whatever SAP screen you are able to see here, that works on GUI. Clear? So it looks like your common MS Office environment only. Same screen. Okay. So what is the difference? I'll tell you. So first one, you can see here, the first one. 1 second, I'll see here. So whatever you see here, menu, edit, favorite, extra, systems help, this we call it as a menu bar. We call it as a menu bar, right? And next one here, whatever we are able to see here, search, print, right? Create new session. This is considered as an application toolbar. If you want, you can write it down. So I have mentioned in the notes also already. Okay. So here, this is considered as a menu bar. And here in the second line, it is known as an application toolbar. Application toolbar, the second line. And SAP access, whatever SAP access you are able to see, this is considered as a title bar. This is considered as a title bar. First one, menu bar, application toolbar, title bar, and next one, this is considered as application toolbar. Fourth line you are able to see, right? That is considered as an application toolbar. Application toolbar. Again, I'll reiterate. If you want, you can write it the first line, menu bar, standard toolbar, title bar, application toolbar, and in the top right side, okay, top right side, whatever we are able to see, the top right side, this is considered as an application area, application area. And on the bottom left side, on the bottom, this is considered as a status bar. Clear? If you are running any report or something, okay, then it will show percentage, 20%, 30%, 60%, 80%, like that. So here we considered it as a status bar. So till here, it is the same like your MS Office. It is the same like your MS Office. Okay. So here, extra till here, it looks like MS Office as that. So what are the new things here? What are the extra things? Okay. So anyone knows what is this area who are working as an end user? What is this area we call? We call it as a command field. Okay. So here nothing but in SAP, we call it as a command field. What are the things we will add? Application transaction codes. We will discuss what is the transaction code actually. Okay. SAP delivers standard transaction codes. Okay. Across the globe, those are standard. Okay. We call it as a command field. Write down command field. Okay. And it is here we will give the transaction code to go to the application. Okay. Across the globe, the standard transactions codes are standard. Right. And next one. And this particular screen here on the left side, you can see here SAP, we call it as an SAP navigation menu. This particular screen, we call it as an SAP navigation menu. Okay. And here we have favorites, right? We call it as an user defined menu, SAP navigation menu. And I'll show you what is favorites. User defined menu, user defined navigation menu, or user defined menu. There are two things here. These are the new things: SAP navigation menu and user defined navigation menu. Clear? So here the bottom right side, we call it as a status node. Status node means it will show system information. So if we call it as a status node, session manager. So here you can see which system we are using. what is the client, who is the user, which program, which transaction, how much time, response time, interpretation time. Okay. So total in system information it will give you which transaction code we are using and all. So this is a new thing. We call this as a status node. Clear? Any questions? So on the left side, we will see status bar, and here it is a status node. Fine.
Yes, yes.
So I have given the same in the nodes also. You can see here. First one, menu bar, SAP second line, SAP standard toolbar, SAP title bar, okay, SAP application toolbar, SAP status bar on the bottom left side, and status node. And we discussed something about command field. For each transaction or application, we have commands. Those commands are known as a transaction codes. Clear? T codes, which by default, SAP will deliver that. Those T codes we need to mention in command field. So how many transaction codes are there? Total application in the sense, it's more than 65,000 transaction codes are there, which SAP standard provided. 65,000 transaction codes across all the modules. And only in finance, we have 1,800 transaction codes. Only in transactions, we have more than, it is SAP standard. So again, customized transaction code is different again. But SAP standard provided total 65,000, more than 65,000 transaction codes across all the modules. And when it comes to finance, we have more than 1,800 transaction codes. Clear? Whatever 65,800, 1,800 I'm talking, those are SAP standard, not customized transaction. Any questions here?
It's clear, sir.
Yeah. So this is about your SAP GUI. Clear? So don't forget this means we need to explain end user. Once SAP is installed, once SAP, do we require as a consultant in interview? No, it's not required. But if you are going, you are involved in implementation project, you are involved in implementation project, and you need to give the trainings to your end users, right? At that particular point of time, minute to minute things we need to explain our clients, right? So this from starting user ID to client onwards, we need to explain them. So what is this? This is nothing but a menu bar, right? Command field, right? Standard toolbar, title bar, access application toolbar, right? Application area and user defined menu bar, SAP navigation menu. Like that, we need to explain everything. For that particular reason, we need to have a knowledge on this. Okay. Right on.
Yes, sir.
Right on. How to interact. How to interact. How to interact. How to interact. Application or transaction. How to interact application or transaction. So here I'm using two terminologies, transaction or application. It's same, both are same. Okay. So in our organization, there are number of departments will be there, right? Like finance, CO department, marketing, right? HR. So many activities will be there. So in the same way, SAP also delivers many activities. As I mentioned, more than 65,000 transactions are there. Okay. So, and these 65,000 transactions are classified into few are for logistics, right? Few are for human resources, few are for finance. As I said that for finance, we have more than 1800 transactions. Okay. So here you can see here. This is logistics module. So here you can see here modules, logistics, accounting, and human resources. So logistics module, in the sense, you can see what are the modules, logistics related modules: material management, SD module, production module, plant maintenance, quality management. Okay, all those comes under logistics module. And when it comes to accounting related modules are financial accounting, controlling. Okay, so here you can see submodules of FI. Financial accounting submodules are general ledger module, accounts receivable module, accounts payable module. So this is our cup of tea. Clear? There are number of finance modules are there. So we are going to deal with FI and CO, controlling module. So we have FSCM, financial and supply chain management. This is also FI module, but we are not going to handle this. We are restricted ourselves financial accounting module and controlling module, FICO, right? FSCM is one module in finance, right? Strategic, SEM, strategic enterprise management is one module. PS, project system, is one module. Okay, next one, ICM, incentive commission management, is one module, right? Real estate management, these all are comes under finance module, right? In the same way, we have one more module called HR module. Okay. Okay. And information systems. Information systems is related to technical teams, right? ABAPer and as well as basis consultant. So these are functional consultant modules. What are the functional consultant modules? One is logistics, accounting, and HR. So again, in logistics, we have a number of modules. In accounting, again, we have a number of modules. In human resources, again, we have a number of modules. So these all three modules, whoever handles, they will known as a functional consultants. They're known as functional consultants. And when it comes to information systems, okay, so these information systems, who is going to handle? Those are nothing but your technical consultants. That is nothing but ABAPer. So each and everything, ABAPer will write a program in the backend, right? So they will come under information system and they will write a program. Clear? So our main module is accounting. In accounting, financial accounting. So this is our module, as I said. So till here, what are the general ledger, accounts receivable, accounts payable, banks, asset accounting, all those stuff we are going to deal. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So in financial accounting also, we will have document related entries, master records, and report related transactions. Write down how to. Already we have written, right? How to interact with transaction or application. Write down path. Write down the path, how to interact. So when I said path means, so how to go to our application in the sense. So write down path in the sense, every time we are going to use this terminology again and again. So write down path, SAP menu, accounting, SAP menu, accounting, financial accounting, general ledger. For example, I'm showing that's it. General ledger, general ledger, document entry, document entry, document entry. So for example, I want to do with one application, enter GL account, enter GL account, document. So this is one way we can enter, or we can directly go with the transaction code. So I'm just giving an example. Don't this is okay. Transaction code is FB50. FB50. FB50 is a tree code, transaction code. So whenever we use a term called path, then we need to, from start SAP menu is nothing but end user screen. SAP menu is end user screen. Okay, accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, FB50. So here I'll show you once again in system. See here. This is SAP menu. This is SAP menu. Okay, so here our module is accounting, not logistics nor human resources, but even we are going to work in few modules of logistics, as I said, MM, SD, PP, PM. Okay, so later we will see that accounting. Okay, accounting. So in accounting, okay, in accounting, we have our module is now financial accounting. So financial accounting. Okay, next one, general ledger. So here, document entry. You can see here, enter GL account document. Enter GL account document. Okay. One second. Accounting, financial accounting, general ledger, document entry. See here. Okay. So this is the path. So if you want to go to any application, any transaction, then select that. So for example, I want to go with this particular application. So FB50, enter GL account document. Double click on this. Okay. Company code. Actually, this company codes are not there because it's a fresh application. So I'll just check. So see, majority company codes are SAP standard company codes. For example, I'll go with some. So it will take you to your application. Okay. So this is nothing but a journal entry posting. Right. See here, we can see the transaction code here. We can see the transaction code here. FB50, FB50L, F-02, FB1L. So these are standard SAP T codes. SAP standard transaction codes. Clear? And I'll tell you what are the transaction codes we need to remember. And what are the paths we need to remember. Once we enter into the after configuration part, once we enter into the modules, right? Then I'll tell you what are the important transaction codes. Okay. Okay, again, I'm reiterating. You can write it any transaction code which start with Z or Y. Z or Y. Those are not SAP standard transaction codes. Those are customized transaction codes. Means as per the requirement of customer, those transactions codes are customized. The transaction code or any reports which starts with Z or Y. I have explained what is the difference between Z and Y, right? And other than these two letters, if any character it starts, which means that it is SAP standard transaction codes. Clear? Right? And one more thing, most of the transactions in FI module, which starts with F. I'm not saying all, I'm saying most of the transaction will start with F. And if you say that if the transaction code, most of the transaction code starts with M, MIRO, ME23N, ME2L, MRBR, right? Which means that that is related to material management. There is another module called material management module, module, logistics module, right? So as I'm saying, not all, majority transaction codes, if starts with F, then it is related to finance module. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions here? So this is how to enter into a transaction, right? As I mentioned here, so here, as I said that 65,000 transaction codes are there. So is it possible to remember all the transaction codes or at least related 1800? Okay, we have more than 1800 transaction codes, or you can make it as in 2000 only for finance. So is it possible to remember all the transaction codes? Okay, so it's not possible. So what we can do is, so path also, if I want to go with this is called navigation path, right? So I want to go to FBL3N, right? I need to go all this stuff. Every day I'm using this. So instead of having path, we can create favorites folder. Okay, so how to create favorites, how to create our transactions in favorite folders, and that we will see in tomorrow's session. Any questions before we wind it up? This is about how to interact. And don't remember anything, just I would like to show you this, how to interact, how to start the server and all those stuff. And tomorrow onwards, we are going to start up with the how to create the folders, right? And how to enter transaction codes and all those stuff in tomorrow's session. Before we wind up, any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, then thank you. We'll see tomorrow's session, like how to create folders and how to use different transaction codes and all. Okay, and again, we in future, once we start up with the configuration steps, so we will make the difference between end user transaction codes and as well as a consulting transaction codes. Fine. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hey. लैपटॉप बहुत शर्मा मतलब चाहिए तो लैपटॉप नहीं शेष